Geoffrey Colon is head of the brand studio at Microsoft Marketing, where he works at the intersection of innovation, marketing tech, design, media, human behavior, popular culture, people, and trends. He's the host of the Disruptive FM podcast, established way back in 2012, trending topics at the intersection of tech, media, marketing, and popular culture. And I originally got to know Geoff when his 2016 book, Disruptive Marketing, came out, subtitled What Growth Hackers, Data Punks, and Other Hybrid Thinkers Can Teach Us About Navigating the New Normal. He's a creator of, augmented reality and search beta that was demoed in New York City in 2018, the big agency awards and advertising week. He's a copywriter and executive producer of Insights, a Microsoft Advertising Daily podcast. And it's important to note that Geoff is a huge advocate for diversity. I've seen his stuff, and inclusivity and nonconformity, and giving people, regardless of where they've entered the room, the freedom to risk and create from the heart and mind. Geoff, it's great catching up with you. Thanks for giving us a couple minutes here.
Yeah, thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me.
So let's just jump into this limited amount of time here. How are traditional brands succeeding or failing during this moment of high flux?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, the ones that I think have succeeded, they're reinventing themselves. They realize that evolution has been a part of existence. If we go back to basically the beginning of time, humans and biology and physics. I mean, if we look at it from a scientific standpoint, we're not fixed mindsets. We're not fixed.
Read your Darwin, right? Read your Darwin.
Read your Darwin, exactly. I mean, and I think those who have said, "Wait, we can evolve. We can basically become something new," are probably gaining as a result of that. They're looking at the world around them. They're trying to figure out how they fit into it. They're also looking at how humans are reacting, people are reacting. I mean, obviously, if we look at our own existence, what we were like 10 years ago may be radically different from how we are now, or we could still be the same. But the world is definitely constantly evolving, and I think brands have been smart to evolve with that. With their visual imagery, with what their brand mission is, with what their products and services are.
And just quick follow on to that one, could you offer, because you're a bit of an insider when it comes to stuff like this, can you offer maybe one or two little bits of advice for people in the digital marketing space right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's interesting because, we're probably entering an era that, I called out in my book, that's one that's post-digital. And what we mean by this is, digital is it's been around us for so long now, 20 plus years, even longer, that we don't even think of it as digital anymore. It's just a fabric that's part of life. And so I think those marketers who understand how physical and digital worlds complement one another, they do really, really well. I was talking to a digital marketer this past week, and she told me, Geoff, we took a lot of radio advertisements out during the sort of economic downturn the past couple of months, and it's worked very, very well for us. They've gotten an increase in the amount of web traffic they get. They're selling a lot of their particular products, and she basically said, in good economic times, we probably would not have been able to afford that radio advertising. Right. So it was a risk we took, and it's actually paid off. And now they plan to continue to do that as economic recovery comes around again, because they realize that actually works. So, I mean, these are things that I think a lot of digital marketers will continue to basically note, which is not what only happens online, but what are the things happening offline that help catapult things online. So those, best of both worlds. Again, how are we thinking about the universe as one?
And my final question, Geoff, is the question I ask everybody, which is, what lessons have we learned during this moment in history? What lessons have we learned that we must not forget?
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, I think one that I've been telling people is there is no pipeline problem when it comes to hiring. So I'm a big proponent in calling out a lot of organizations who say, "Hey, we have a pipeline problem. We can't get candidates who are Black, Indigenous, people of color for senior positions." That's a lie. Those people just don't know how to go find those candidates. Those candidates have been out there for decades, and they're very good at what they do. And to say you can't find those candidates is just a cop out for hiring your friends in your organization. And I think it's good that other people are finally, I'm just one of many voices out there who've just been calling out a lot of companies who, haven't been doing, I think, their proper diligence, especially in the marketing world, Dave. I mean,
Sure.
I think it's been a very, white male driven type of industry. But there's a lot of very, very good people who work in it that, should be hired for these senior positions, these executive positions, whether it's a chief marketing officer, a chief technical officer, or a chief creative officer. I think that's the big lesson that we need to, not forget during this time.
That's so great. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on this, and keep your stuff together, okay?
Thanks, Dave.